Well, we have a lot to talk about when it comes to Zach Wilson only putting up 3 points in a full game of regulation against the New England Patriots was not ideal, but there were a lot of issues. And I think that Zach Wilson's getting the brunt of the blame. He deserves some blame, and we will talk about what happened, but it is not just a Zach Wilson thing. If Mike White was there, I don't think this offense runs too much more smoothly. For one thing, there were things like this, which is a zone coverage play. You have a receiver running over the middle, that's Denzel Mims. Watch how when Zach Wilson takes a snap, he runs the play action. That play worked, and it's something that the Jets should do more frequently, because they try to establish the run so much. They should, when they establish the run more of these kind of over-the-middle play actions. It's not to say that they don't do this. They definitely do. I would just like to see more than what they already do. But anyway, you see, that's just a straight-up drop pass. That's a really good play from Zach Wilson. That's perfectly timed, perfectly accurate, and just dropped. So, again, drop passes happen, right? I'm not going to sit here and say that Zach Wilson was throwing dimes left and right, and it was only drop passes that caused this game to go south. No, it certainly wasn't. Like, for example, something like this. This is another good example of kind of one of the issues we saw, which is this is a cover zero. So, the Patriots, listen, I'm sure that Zach Wilson sees Bill Belichick in his nightmares, right? The Patriots always know exactly how to just, terrorize poor Zach Wilson. That's what they know how to do. But on a cover zero, this is kind of what you hope to see Zach Wilson thrive in, The comparisons he got coming out of college was like his upside is that of Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes. Well, those guys in these situations really find ways to thrive when it's like a cover zero, one-on-one matchups, finding a way to get a home run play. Instead, you see Zach Wilson kind of just weirdly throw this one into the dirt, it looked like. I don't know if that was a miscommunication thing. It might have been. I actually think that might have been a miscommunication. But even if it was, why does Zach Wilson have so many miscommunications? Why are all these miscommunications happening? Because there are a lot with the Jets offense, and at a certain point, you have to start to wonder, is that a Zach Wilson issue? Although to me, this play is the biggest issue. This is what went wrong. This is the number one thing that the Jets have to figure out. And maybe it is benching Zach Wilson. Maybe that is the move. This is going to be a 3rd down and 3. And the reason why I'm saying maybe benching Zach Wilson actually is the right idea, which is something listen, I love Zach Wilson as a prospect, so I get it. I understand why you might not want to give up on him just yet, but you are also trying to make the playoffs. You're 6-4. You have 7 games left. And ideally, you want more than just making the playoffs, right? The goal is to win a Super Bowl. But in a situation like this, it's a 3rd down and 3. And as of what we see right here, there's no way of knowing exactly what the coverage is. It is going to kind of set up as though it's a 2 safety deep coverage. But at the time, it doesn't look that way. At the time, it looks like it's a single safety deep coverage. And certainly, you look sort of on the outside towards the bottom of the screen. There's absolutely no denying that, one-on-one matchups, I think, again, if you have a decent passing attack, that's where you're going. You're not even thinking about it. That's where you're going. Instead, Zach Wilson is going to just hand the ball off. It gets completely blown up, and it's just a great example of, they just don't trust Wilson. That's just the reality of the situation, and I'm not saying they should. I'm just saying that's the situation, is the Jets do not trust Zach Wilson, and if they don't trust Zach Wilson, you have to just get him off the field. That's just what I think. If you're not trusting him in these situations, there's a lot of these situations. I'm seeing 3rd down and 7s, and they're throwing screen passes kind of thing. I've seen that this season. It's like, if you don't trust him enough to pick up a 3rd down and 3, then the reality is you just don't trust him, and you need to get him off the field and put someone in the game that you do trust. If you think that he's okay and has potential, then you need to at least give him a chance to do that. You need to at least give him, don't run the ball every 1st and 2nd down kind of thing. You have to give him more opportunities. You have to give him more chances. And let's go over here, because I want to be very clear. Zach Wilson is not playing good football. That's absolutely true. That is not the main point I'm trying to make. I'm trying to make the point that, there's bigger issues here. And if you're going to have him play with handcuffs on, well then, you're going to get a lot of 3rd downs, right? Their 3rd down conversion percentage was not very good. Something like this is the 3rd down. You see a one-on-one matchup. This is the play that Wilson should have had. Watch. Wilson takes the snap. You're going to see right off the bat, it gets open. Wilson makes this throw. And again, you see right here, somehow, I paused it right here just because of kind of the comedic effect of somehow this is not intercepted. I don't know how. Should have been intercepted. Where the old expression goes, I think, of if they could catch, they'd play wide receiver kind of thing, right? But you can also look underneath a little bit, and you see that it's, it was open. This was a convertible play and would have gotten you in field goal range, which, as we know, would have been a huge deal in this low-scoring game. So while it's not a turnover, it's still a bad misthrow. Again, maybe there's a miscommunication issue, but I have to say, why are there so many miscommunications then? Of course, we saw, Zach Wilson's patented misthrow on a screen pass. Again, they love to run screen passes there, and Wilson, for whatever reason, struggles at that stuff. That's something that always confuses me. This wasn't an issue in college, him missing these super easy throws. He maybe missed a couple here and there, but it wasn't like a big issue. I don't know why in the NFL he can't seem to hit those. And even something like this could have been very dangerous. It's a man coverage play. You have a receiver running an out route. You're on the hash marks on the opposite side of the field, so it's a tough angle throw. As you see, Zach Wilson takes the snap. Zach Wilson fires. There's a bit of a window, right? You see why he takes this chance, but the corner makes a great play on the ball, nearly had what would have been the game-winning interception. Of course, very soon after, they would get even more dramatic game-winning touchdown, but still, Zach Wilson, he got a little unlucky in areas. He also got a little lucky in areas. Both were true in this game, I thought. And finally, one last play to kind of put it all in perspective, talk about, it as a whole. It's a 3rd down and 1. And I don't get why this isn't the concept that Wilson is looking towards, where it's kind of designed to be sort of this pick play rub route thing against this cover 2 zone. There's already going to be a little bit of a window underneath. Like, this is probably where Wilson should be looking. Instead, as you see, Wilson is he starts off looking towards his left, and then at this point, you see it is open. Wilson decides to throw it towards a halfback instead. New England was all over it, and they aren't able to pick up the first down, and that was a big play in the football game. If they convert that first down, they at least make it to overtime. So, you would have liked to have that first down. That's a tough one. So, what are the issues with the Jets? There's several of them. One is Zach Wilson legitimately isn't playing well. That's obviously a part of it. Another one is that they're putting so much handcuffs on him and basically forcing him. That second half, it felt like every time he was finally throwing, it was on a 3rd down and 10, which is not ideal. Thirdly, the receivers weren't helping him out enough. They weren't getting open consistently. When they were getting open, they weren't making plays as consistently as you would have liked. That was definitely very true. And finally, the Patriots played well. Listen, Patriots play well, they play the Jets well, and they have really good defense, and they can be suffocating on you if you're a quarterback, which Zach Wilson is, at least for now. So, again, do you need to bench Zach Wilson? I don't know. I think kind of whatever you felt like, whatever opinion you had heading into this game, I think you should still have that opinion. I am kind of the belief that I think I probably keep him, but I would try to take some of the training breaks off of him, see if he can at least swim, and if not, then maybe I just say, okay, you know what, let's cut the cord here, let's see what we can do. The reality is, I don't think with Mike White or Joe Flacco, you're winning a Super Bowl anyway, even though Joe Flacco does have a Super Bowl, that was a long time ago. I don't think you have to give Zach Wilson another chance, but I think I would give him, another week is probably what I would do. See how that goes. They play the Bears, so that's a, again, much easier defense. I don't want to make a decision after he plays the Patriots just because, Wilson hasn't looked great this season. He has looked better when he hasn't played the Patriots. Patriots play him tough. They really shut him down. I feel like every time he's played the Patriots, I've made a video saying, should the Jets bench Zach Wilson? Because that seemingly becomes the narrative after every single time he plays the Patriots. Maybe he just needs to stop playing the Patriots. I don't know. But play the Bears next week. We can evaluate it after that. And that's kind of how I would view it. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. Always love hearing from you. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.